Welcome everyone to MSN 834 Theoretical Foundations for Advanced Nursing. I am Wendy Crary, your instructor for this course. I just wanted to send you a warm welcome and that show you a little bit around in the course and point you to some key things that I think will be helpful if you know right away where they are. So here we are on the home page, and I'm not sure how familiar all of you are with what you see here on the left column, but the most important thing for you to look for and to start is in the course info Q&A. In here, you're going to find two things that I have posted for you to review. One is the syllabus and our topical outline or schedule of what you should be reading, and it shares in there what is due and when. The other one is a introduction to you in a visual way, who I am, and my bio was posted there, and also a picture of my husband and let's see, 8 of our biological grandchildren, and then the tall young lady standing next to my husband is our granddaughter who came to us when our oldest son married her mom. And I've been her grandma since she was like 2.5. So, and then you'll see my grandson Owen. He was, this was the end of the day, and he'd about had enough, and we were in a meltdown. And which is so sad because he's just my little angel boy normally, and I felt so bad, but everyone else was actually smiling, looking at the camera, and so I thought you'd like to see this picture. Okay, we're back at the home page, and the next place you should be looking is under Content tab. And when you open here, there's several different things that you should be looking for. The important course information. This is another way for you to get to the course info Q&A that was over here. Important course information. Here's the assignment instructions, the rubrics that go along with those assignments, tells you how to gain the points for the assignment. Make sure and please look at every line, every criteria that is there, because I really do want you to be successful and gain all the points that you possibly can. There's also templates in there for you to use for a few of the assignments. Here are different recordings done on Panopto for you. You'll be referenced back here at weeks going forward. Here is the Dropbox for your digital badge from doing the writing skills MOOC. MOOC is massively open online content, free courses. Please note that your digital badge needs to be submitted to this Dropbox by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. That's the ending of our weeks. And if we scroll down, we'll be able to see the different weekly folders and content, and all you have to do is click on them. This is a 12-week course and different content each week. Please try and stay on task with these weeks so that you can engage in the discussion postings and have good dialogue with your peers. You are assigned to a discussion group, and you will be interacting with 4 or 5 people in that group. Well, you're one of them, so 3, 4 other people. And be mindful that your original post answering the discussion question is due by midnight on Tuesday. That is important. That is how you interact with your peers. That's how you gain the initial points for the activity. Then you need to respond to your peers in your group on their original post. And all of this needs to be completed by 11:59 p.m. on Saturday of each week. Now, I have opened the course for you early Friday, the Friday before the actual start date, and you'll be able to see all the content each week and plan and be staying on task. Another tab for you to be mindful of as a resource is the prayer and praise and connections. I can see that Catherine's already made her initial posting here, and hopefully over this next week we'll see everyone else's coming in. What I had hoped here initially was that you would introduce yourself to everyone else in the course, and in an ongoing way, if there is something that you have heard about and you would like to put on the prayer list for all of us in the course, create a thread here and tell us about it. Now, this is something that I look at several times throughout the week, as well as the Q&A section. So if you have a question for me or just out there to your peers, we should be looking at the Q&A as well. And if you have something to praise the work that you're doing out there as a nurse, or the work that you are doing within your group, and just want to do a shout out to your peers, this is another place to put it. So now I have opened under the content tab. Do you remember I said that there were recordings that you would be referenced back to? And it says Panopto recordings. So here are several of the recordings. They're all listed here. And so I want to bring your attention to this very first one. The course coordinator for this course is Peg Haggerty, and the other professor teaching in the course is Carol Ott. And Carol has put in a nice welcome and course overview, and so you're welcome to look at that and to give you guidelines. We have down here the team steps recording that you will need to access, and the other ones too. And we have one here with Michael Oldani and Dr. Diane Ames, and this is a recording that was completed this spring, but it is relevant to what we're doing this fall. So something else I thought you might find helpful is if we just went through one of these when you clicked on the content and one of the weekly folders. So this is Unit 1, and it actually spans 2 weeks. You'll notice up here it says weeks 1 and 2. So in Unit 1, we have our topic. We have a connection put in here. It's just a message to you about what we're going to cover. We have weekly learning objectives for you. It tells you that you need to read the Jesus CEO Jones book, all the chapters. It's a very enlightening, easy read, enjoyable. As I was going through page by page reading this, I was constantly underlining, and I've actually turned down the tabs on a couple of pages. Some of you may not feel comfortable doing that, but it's just something that I like to do and bring myself back to things I want to remember. Here is a summary, what have we learned? In here you'll see that we are pointing you back to completing the APA and Professional Writing Workshop, which appears on your Blackboard homepage under Organizations tab. Here's the go to the post little brief introduction of yourself. These here, please look at this. This is the graded activities. Make sure that you have done everything and put it in there. And then we can go down a little bit further. Now this is the week 2, and this is the discussion that, like I was talking about, to make sure that you get your initial post in there and look at your peers posting. Down here at the bottom of the page, I'm going to move this down a little bit, is where you are to post for your peers your article. And relating to the readings from this unit, which is looking back. Here is the discussion. We are looking and reading at the Jesus CEO. So a good place to think about what can be my guidelines on an article to find is look at the weekly learning objectives. So that's pretty much how the weekly content goes. If you have any questions, I think the best way to get a hold of me is to actually send me an email. I get my emails on my phone, and I will respond just as quickly as I can. So welcome to the course. I'm looking forward to the next 12 weeks with you and reading your discussion postings, and I'll give you individual feedback on that. And if there's something that I really feel strongly about addressing and sending out to the entire group, I will do that. But I prefer to give you each individual feedback. I've heard from students in the past that that is more meaningful to them in particular. So enjoy, and God bless.